a good old-fashioned ass whooping. That's what just happened week 3 for the Houston Texans. This was a come-back-to-earth game. This was a, hey, not everything is peaches and roses and butterflies. This was a straight-up old-fashioned ass whooping. And on top of that, your QB1 got injured in the process with C.J. Stroud at the end of today's game. We'll get into all that and more on this mad post-game report from NFL Week 3, Texans-Vikings. I mean, it was just all three phases of the football game. The Texans got beat, plain and simple, by the Minnesota Vikings. There was not one part of this game, not one aspect of this game where I was like, you know what? The Texans, they did better than the Vikings did today. Not one. It was awful. And you could have gone ahead and left that one because Patrick Seatman might as well be my daddy right now because the Texans didn't do shit. I was talking all the mess to our Vikings host pregame. I was talking mess to Vikings fans on Twitter, on Facebook. And then this team just came out and laid an egg up against the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, to start off, they just couldn't do anything. C.J. Stroud, an early interception that, arguably wasn't his fault. And then you had what could have been a fumble on the very next drive from Dalton Schultz. This team looked shook. This team looked like they weren't ready. They looked like they weren't prepared. And on top of that, like I said, maybe the reason why you clicked into this video, C.J. Stroud injured towards the end of that game. I don't know what to tell you, folks. I don't know what to tell you about this team, about C.J. Stroud moving forward. I'm looking to see what happened, what's the latest around C.J. Stroud. They're talking about we didn't protect the quarterback. They said it shouldn't be too bad for C.J. Stroud. It was a lower body injury for him. He'll get evaluated this week. Davis Mills came in towards the end of the game. I think it was more precautionary because it was out of reach and they didn't want C.J. to get hurt anymore. But he was dodging guys left and right. And we'll get into the offensive line and everything with that in just a moment. But Texans fans, are we worried? Let me know down in the comment section. Type Y for yes, type in for no. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's video. When we get back from this YouTube ad break, I'll give you my answer. But let me know down in the comments. Are you concerned with this team? Give me a yes or give me a no. Hell yes, I am concerned with this team. The 5 guys you see on screen were playing fucking patty cake all game. Laramie Tunzel, stop full starting. Stop it. Kenyon Green, Juice Scruggs, Shaq Mason, y'all played like shit. Titus Howard, get these guys off the screen, Seeps. Get these bums off the screen. They don't deserve any more time on my screen. This offensive line, that was piss poor today. Piss poor effort, piss poor across the entire offensive line. You have a QB1, a franchise guy in C.J. Stroud, and he is running for his damn life. Bobby Slowick, don't think you're off the hook either. You're having Cade Stover block Jonathan Grenard and let him just feast on our guy and get to C.J. Stroud. Grenard had 3 sacks on the day. Are you shitting me? This whole O-line, Bobby Slowick, this offensive unit needs to take a long, hard look in the mirror because what they put out on the field does not represent this fan base and what this team wants to do moving forward. It was absolute shit. It was awful. On defense, you were okay. You were decent. They had the ball in plus territory multiple times. They obviously were able to drive down the field. Sam Darnold looked great. The defense, not great. But this offense, I'm just so pissed off. And I was so mad at all the false starts, at all the penalties on this offensive line. It was catastrophic from the beginning. This offensive line had 3 false starts in a row. Back to back to back. Are you shitting me? You're a professional. You're an adult. Act like it. Grow up and hold your water. Are you 3 in a row? Not in the same drive, not in the same quarter, on back-to-back-to-back plays. I'll get into more, and I know I'm really pissed off and pumped up right now, but today's sponsor of today's show is Factor Meals. Go check them out today. Factor Meals, they are an amazing sponsor. Go check them out today. Fuel up with them. Factor has no prep, no mess meals. Meet your wellness goals in time for the holidays thanks to the menu of chef-crafted meals with options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are dietitian approved and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. So no matter how busy you are watching the Texans suck, you'll have time to enjoy these nutritious, great tasting meals. Make your day delicious. from breakfast to dessert, and stay fueled with easy, nutritious options. Keep kitchen time to a minimum so you can spend more time on the couch watching the Texans shit the bed with Factor meals today with just minutes to spare, 2-minute meals, no shopping, no prepping, no cooking, and no cleaning up. Head to factormeals.com/TexansChat50 and use code TexansChat50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month. That's code TexansChat50 at factormeals.com/TexansChat50 to get 50% off your first box and 20% off your next month while your subscription is active. Thank you, Factor Meals, something I can count on, unlike the Texans' offensive line. Back to C.J. Stroud. Obviously, we'll get into his injury throughout the week. I think he should be good to go. It looked like he just kind of got caught up on his legs. One of the Vikings defensive linemen kind of tripped him up, and he came up a little bit hobbled, was able to keep on going, but it was obviously bothering him a little bit. 20 for 31, 215. He did have 2 picks, but one was tipped at the line, and the other one, I can't tell whether it was really just that bad of a pass or Nico Collins slipped, because both happened on the play late in the game. This was a game where you're a young quarterback and you get a guy, we said it all week, Brian Flores is the litmus test for young quarterbacks, and he took it to C.J. Stroud. Stefon Diggs, 10 catches for 94 yards. I mean, half of it was in garbage time when the Vikings were already up by 4 scores. Nico Collins, 4 receptions for 86 yards. He did pretty good, but obviously, he had multiple plays. So did Stefon Diggs. So did Tank Dell. Had multiple plays that were for naught because the Texans had so many penalties on the offensive side of the football. On the other side, you let this guy right here. This dude looks like he is pledging for Alpha Phi right now. He's for Sigma Chi right now, Sam Darnold. And you let him put up 17 for 28, 181, and 4 tutties. This was just an all-around disappointing game if you're a Houston Texans fan. Sam Darnold just ate your lunch. Aaron Jones was able to run in the third and fourth quarter to really ice this game. Justin Jefferson, 6 for 81 and a touchdown. He should have had 2 or 3 more catches that were easy drops for Justin Jefferson, where he normally brings it in. It would have been a much bigger storyline, especially for the Vikings, if this was a close game. But Justin Jefferson, he was showing out in the first half, and I said it so many times. Hey, they don't have their number 2 in Jordan Addison. Maybe you double Justin Jefferson the entire game, and you run one-on-one with Jalen Nailor. But no, they were like, let's sit back in his zone. Let's try to get some pressure. Let's try to run some simulated blitzes, and we'll just, run zone and run one-on-one on Justin Jefferson. What are you doing? He's the best receiver in the effing game. And you run zone, you run one-on-one in the first half, man-to-man, and he just is able to dot you up and go everywhere. I mean, Justin Jefferson, 6 for 81 for a touchdown. Aaron Jones, 5 for 46 and a touchdown. Jalen Nailor, 3 for 31 and a touchdown. It was like Oprah Winfrey giving touchdowns to every single player on the Vikings offensive side of the football. And, you made some adjustments in the second half. That was good. But still, in the first half, Justin Jefferson, I don't get what you were doing. What was the play call? What was the plan to stop Justin Jefferson? Because in the first half, there was none. You were just letting him run wild all across this Texans defense. And I just think this team was not ready. This team was not, set up for success today. And all along the offensive line, on the defensive side of the football, this team just got dominated on all 3 phases. Even the former AFC Special Teams Player of the Week, Kymie Fairbairn. First quarter, he misses a field goal. Granted, it was 50-plus, and he had been extraordinary from long range for the past, 4 or 5 weeks. But still, when you get dominated on all 3 phases of the football field, you're not going to win football games. And this team needs to take a long, hard look in the mirror before playing against a division rival in Jacksonville. Now, that's the only plus for this, is you're playing in a division where the Titans, Jags, and the Colts all not looking good. So that is the only plus if you're a Houston Texans fan right now. The division, you're still looking like the top dogs. But this next week is a massive game up against the Jacksonville Jaguars. You need to go out and win up against division foes. I know this was a tough game up against the Vikings team. Now, don't get me wrong. This Vikings team is good. They beat the 49ers last week. They beat y'all this week. So, obviously this Vikings team is not pushovers. They're a good squad. But up against the Jags this week, I'm not saying it's make or break, but you need to come out and you need to play better. This offensive line, you have something to prove. Laramie Tunsil, you have something to prove. I've been singing your praises all off season long because how good you are in pass protection. But that all goes for shit if you can't hold your water, if you get a false start, if you get an illegal formation every other freaking play. So I'm looking for the Texans to really show up and show out this week. Make sure to give me a follow on Twitter at Jeremy Chuggs. Make sure to subscribe for more videos. Hopefully we have a watch party next week. But, I mean, hey, the Texans are going to shit the bed. I don't even know if I want to go live next week. So let me know down in the comments section. Should we go live next week? Texans, Jags, I want to be there. I want to root on this team, and I want to bounce back next week with D'Amico Ryans and company. Let me know what you think down below in the comments.